So I'm going to, I got some smooth on stuff and I'm going to make a mold of my Wookiee toes. I got the Rebound 25 because it's a brush on, and you mix it 1-to-1 by volume. It has a 20-minute pot life and 6-hour cure time, so I need to get started. I've already mixed some up and before I start this video, so come along, I'll show you what I'm doing. So the first step is to paint on a layer, and I should have some gloves on, and I took my glove off and now I'm regretting it. So I will just be sticky for you guys. So you just go in here and they say first coat, put it on kind of thin. That way you can get all the detail. So and I played around. I was going to use Alumilite, but their stuff is really, they say again and again it's by weight, and Smooth On has made their products so you can mix them by volume. So I just went to Home Depot and got these measuring cups, which should just allow the silicone to pop right out when I'm done and it's dry and I can reuse them. Yeah, definitely don't need to make so much the next time. Because by being brushable, it also has a low viscosity, so it's thin. So you can see I get it on there and it starts settling down pretty quick. Which is kind of what I wanted it to do in the first place. I got like the best of both worlds here with this. My lens, there it is. So you can see I'm filling in right around in here, and then we get the back side. So now I know why they say just mix up a little bit in very thin layers, because the viscosity of this stuff is going to cause it to. You see I've already got a good flange going here, and that's awesome. I needed that. So probably made up more material than I need. So I'll take this as a lesson learned and stop for right now. I gotta wait 60 minutes, and then I can make up another batch. So I've got, this comes in the red and the blue, and like I said, you just mix it 1-to-1 and then paint it on. So there you go. All right, see you in an hour. All right, so it's been about an hour, and we can go ahead and check. I just checked it, and I think it's good enough to do the next coat. Let's see. So what they said was you want to make it where it's just tacky. Seemed tacky to me. So here we go. We'll mix up some more. And this time I'll show you the mix. Lesson number 1, get everything out of your bags before you start messing with this stuff, because it is sticky. Nitrile gloves. Don't wear latex gloves. It'll mess it up. And I'm not going to mix up so much this time. Use the thicker, wider popsicle sticks. The little skinny ones are too hard to handle. This stuff really is thick. So here's my mixing cup. I'm gonna try to mix up just a little bit less than I did the last time. Well, a lot less than I did the last time. That's about it. And with any AB material where you have a two-part thing, don't mix up the don't use the same thing in both, because you'll end up with, it'll start to react. Seems about right. So it's it all. All right, so you want to stir this stuff up so it has even color. Make sure you get all the way to the bottom. You don't want to see stripes. This looks about right. All right. All right, so it's been about 17 minutes and starting to really thicken up a good bit. So I'm gonna leave it alone for right now and give it another hour or so. And then I'll come back and put another coat on. Probably mix up even less this time. I think I still had a lot of, you want to put on a lot of thin coats, not a whole bunch of goopy coats. And I think I had so much stuff I didn't want to waste it. So I'm gonna put even less this time on the next one. So we'll see you in about an hour. All right, coat number 3. I tried to mix up a little bit less this time because I've got, just trying to learn how to use it. All right, it flashed. There you go. So I think it finally flashed on me. It's looking, yeah. So it's time to let it sit an hour or so. So I gotta get another chip brush and I'll make up another batch shortly. And I think that's gonna be the last of the rubber. And then I'll be ready to do the, as soon as it cures, add the jacket to it tomorrow. All right, we are back with the next step. And I have my keys there. I'm gonna get in there. So just give me a sec, and I'm gonna mix this up. These keys for, I'll tuck them in right there. Here's one. And then just take the little key, I'll sink it in the rubber, and I'll cover it in just a second. I'm working on this time is, again, working on these undercuts, but I'm going to get these keys laid in there. I have learned that you can let gravity do its work for you. Alright, welcome back. So we should be just about at flash time. Come on. Didn't make any sense to keep painting it for the last 10 minutes and just let the chemical reaction take place. Now, let's see how it's doing. Should be just about past pot time, and I can get these last areas one last time around. And so we'll see how it goes. Getting closer. Let's see. Give it a couple more minutes. All right. A couple more minutes have passed. Should be setting up now. Any minute now. Should become really difficult to work with. Hope that'll stay. Help hold that together. Overall, I think it's looking pretty good. So it's these overhangs that I need to. I feel like I need to. Maybe I don't. Maybe I've got enough of it. I'm just worrying because I've never done this before. But all right, so we'll give it an hour, and then we'll see. Should be tacky enough after an hour. All right, later, guys.
Well, welcome back. It's the next day, and everything has cured. So now I'm ready to add the bandages to it, and then let that dry, and then I can pop everything off, and we can see how good the mold was. So let's take a look.
Here we are. It's a little crooked, but oh well. Hey, so everything's nice and stuck on there. My keys are in place, and feels like it's built up pretty thick. So what I have is I bought some of this. I got the 4 inches by 5 yards. I'm gonna put on my gloves here, and now I'm gonna build the case. The plaster wrap for this to support all this rubber. So I took those strips and I cut them into about 10 inches. So I took that one long, it's just one long roll. And I cut it into about 10-inch strips, about yay. And I've got hot water over here. Said if you use hot water, it's going to do better. So just dip it in, and then it activates the plaster. And now I'm going to start kind of taking some of this and applying it into the nooks and crannies. I think I'm going to try a different technique, which is I'm going to dip it and just let it follow along so it doesn't fold up. Now, you just kind of lay it in there and get everything on it. You can see if you rub your hands, you can kind of work the plaster into the gauze. Kind of spread it out. I'm reusing the container I used to make the silicone. So the great thing about doing silicone is you can get those mixing containers and you can reuse the heck out of them because the silicone just pops right out. Now, since this is my first time doing this a foot, I'm not sure wasn't sure how much I needed of the bandages. Maybe a little short. So I'm just dipping it. I'm gonna try to do my best here. Unroll it all and get kind of straightened out. Probably could use shorter bandages. I think I'm going to do that. These are getting kind of, I'm going to cut them in half. And I'm doing probably about a 4x6 piece, which makes dipping and placing seems to be, hopefully, it'll be easier. But since we're kind of doing this together, you're learning as I'm learning. I've only done this once before, and you can check with Ken Jones. Wasn't the best job ever. So this is my second time doing a mold support structure. Like anything you do, you get better the more you do it, so hopefully this one's better than the last one. So where I think there might be like weak spots and droopy stuff, I'm kind of doubling, tripling up. What you want when this thing's done is enough support on your silicone so when you fill it up with the material that you're actually casting, it doesn't sag and fall away. So I'm going to make sure I do an especially good job on some of these like edges and the toes around the keys here. build up right there. I'm just putting layer on layer on layer of the plaster. And trying to get all the air bubbles out. I'm really excited to see how this thing's going to come out, because this is really the first time ever in my life I have sculpted something and then made a mold of it and then cast something from that mold. And truly, one of the first times I've sculpted something like feet, anything like that, so I enjoyed that a lot. I'm going to do more. That was, now I've got the monster clay. I can work on some other stuff. That was mucho enjoyable. And I don't care that the toes are a little bit, I told you about my latch hooking, making some of this stuff. It's okay to have some errors in it because it kind of identifies it as yours. And I know these toes don't, I saw it, they're not perfect. I didn't want them to be perfect. I wanted something to make them unique. I guess, I don't know, maybe that's just something about how I like to do things, but I want to make sure that I identified these as mine. And they are based off the screen and as accurate to the screen as I could get them, but in every artistic endeavor, there's always a little bit of the artist in there that's added. You know what? This is looking pretty good. I think I'm going to add a couple more over the top of this just to basic just structure, like just to bind all this together. See here I'm working the plaster that's embedded in the fabric, and you activate it, and now I'm just rubbing it in there. I think these are going to be my last two because I'm pretty happy with this. And now I'm just rubbing it in there, and that spreads that plaster all within the fibers. It's kind of like fiberglassing. You know how you, I don't know if you've ever fiberglassed, I used to. You want to work the resin into all the fibers, and that's where it gets its strength. So, voila. I feel pretty good about it. Hang on, I got some extra. There's some excess water drippage here. So, make my life a little easier. All right. All right, those of you who follow my Chewbacca build will recognize that blow dryer is the one I use to straighten the hair out. So what I'm doing now is just going around the edge. I'm sure I'm not having anything stick. When I get ready to pry this thing up, I don't have any issues. Because it's pretty solid, but I think it's going to need a little more time to cure. So I've got to run an errand. Take something else I built for my daughter's performance of Willy Wonka Jr. Take a prop I made and take it up to the school. And then when I come back, hopefully we can unveil.
There you go. Let's see what happens. Give me, I don't know, it'll be about an hour or so. And then we'll see if we can pop this thing off. Fingers crossed. Thanks, guys.
All right. Now comes the time for the big reveal. So I'm going to try and get this up and out of here. See if I can. You know what, I'm going to try something. I'm going to try to take it's starting to come up. Okay, so there's my support. Now and there's my mold. So looks like I got good undercuts. Got my textures I wanted. And now you just slip the mold right back down in the case. Your keys will lock in like that. Now, ta-da! Now I have my mold. So you can see I got my toenails in there like I wanted. Little ridges.
I'm pretty happy. So now I'm done with the right foot or the left foot, so I can take this clay up and I can now start working on the right foot. But I'm gonna clean up this mold and let me try to pour a little foam in it. We'll see what happens. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, I'm really red. I had to go mow the grass. So anyway, look, I'm gonna go ahead and post this video, and then tomorrow I'm gonna go to Plaza Arts and get some mold release, some ease, because I'm doing urethane foam on urethane, and it could stick, or silicon urethane. I don't know. I don't want to take a chance because it took me a long time to get this thing done, so I like to try and do my best to preserve it. So, this is how you make a mold of your cast, or a cast of your sculpt mold, a mold of your sculpt. There we go. Hey, you know, eventually I'll get it out, and it helps because I'm wearing my Ministry of Silly Walkers shirt now. Okay, so I'm gonna post this video. If you like what you're doing, give me a thumbs up, like, subscribe.
help me build the channel of building stuff. This is kind of fun. I enjoy doing it. And yeah, I'd love to help you guys out. So if you have any questions, post them down below. See, I should start like down here. Yeah, so post them down below. Tomorrow I'll take this mold. Oh, by the way, what I tried to do was figure out how much foam I need. So I took my trusty measuring cup, filled the mold with water, poured the water in the cup, and now I know this mold takes 6 ounces to fill up. The foam I have expands 11 to 1. So I need like 3/4 of an ounce of A and B. So I need to figure out how to do that in that small of quantity. And I've got 35 seconds before it. Should be fun tomorrow. We'll see. All right. Peace.